Yeah, welcome to this part of the class on we'll be looking at column chart, right? And as well as let's say bar chart, because we said that the key difference between a bar chart and a column chart is just they are different orientation vertically and then the other one horizontally. Now this we have a data set containing the blood group and the height. And let's say we want to plot a column chart. So let's select the cells. All right, then go to insert and let's go to recommended charts, and then we can actually see our recommended chart. We also have um different ones here, but these are recommended ones. All right. So this column chart is usually used to compare values across few categories. So we use it when the order of category is not actually important. So in this example, we have a categorical information here to be the different blood groups A, B, and O. And then we have data values. And we said in the definition of a column chart or bar chart that the values here, the data value corresponds to the length of our column. So let's quickly click OK to generate our column chart. Now, just looking at this, we can see that the length of this blood group A is around 140, and we can see its corresponding value here, right? So using this chart, you can begin to play around some stuff like, clicking the plus sign, you can actually add the axis title. So the axis title, this is where you have to rename this to be, this is the average height. So we use average height, which open and close using centimeters. And then for this other axis title, which is our X series, remember this is the Y series and the X series. We have the axis title to be blood, let's say blood group. Right, so that's the blood group. And you can actually change the title of our bar chart. Then for the plus sign, we have option for legend. So since we only have one category, in cases where we may actually have like two different categories, all right, we can actually see, let's say for male and female, this where you now have a different legend here. We are going to see a typical example of that as well. Now we have for grid lines, you can actually choose to display your grid lines, right? We have the primary major horizontal. We also have the primary major vertical. Okay. Now you can choose to tick any of the lines you want to display. By default, the primary major horizontal is usually selected. So you can take this, actually tick this, can actually tick this other line, right? So we have options for more, so you can start working on your grid lines. Okay. Now we also have the different axes. We have the different axes here. We have for the primary. Do you want to actually show the primary vertical? All right. So let's make sure we select that. We also have options to uncheck the primary horizontal. So this is a typical design of column charts. Now, still selecting this, you can actually still go to insert, share recommended charts. Then we have all charts here. We have bar chart. All right, we have bar chart. And we said before that what bar chart does is different between this bar chart and the column chart is just its arrangement, right? Where here the categorical data is usually presented in this Y series, all right? And then its data values, corresponding data values are placed here. So this is for bar chart, and then this is also for column chart. So whichever one you want to use, you can play around with it. So let's get back to use the previous one we were looking at. Now you can actually change the color of our chart by, make sure your chart is selected. Go to change color and you can pick this color. We have this color here. So whichever color you want to go, you can make your different selections here. All right. Right now, let's also say that we have this type of data here. We have the department in engineering, faculty, civil, mechanical, to mathematics, and then we have the different gender, which is the male and the female. Now, you may be asked to plot a graph, all right? So what we do, let's first of all select the graph and then go to insert. Let's go to recommended charts. Now we have this other kind of clustered columns where we can actually pick this, or we can actually pick this depending on the type. So here the values, that is the categories, lie beside, all right, each other. Okay, but this other one, we have it on top of it. But let's just select this for now, and then we can see here. Remember in our previous type of the cluster column, that is our column chart we were looking at, we had only single category. But in this case, we now have two different categories, which is a gender, male and female, and also the different departments. Right. So in civil engineering department, we have male and female. Please take note. So we have male and female in civil engineering department. And right here, we can see that we have a legend here, which you can actually move here to change your legend position to, let's say, right. You can display it here. So M stands for male, L stands for female. So in civil engineering, we have about 11 students, which are female. And then for this other high, the blue, which represent the male, we have about 70 of them. Same thing in mechanical, same thing for electrical, and then electronics and mathematics. You can also add your data labels. For example, let's say you want to actually, keep the different points on the top. That's if you cannot actually trace to the data value we have here. You can make sure you click on data labels and it will come there. All right. Then also include your axis title, where this, you can label this to be, let's say, number of students, and then here is going to be the different departments. So these are different departments, and then let's say engineering faculty, students. So this is a graph showing, or a chart showing, engineering faculty students as the number of engineering faculty students, right? Number of engineering faculty students. So this is basically it, and you can begin to play around with this, right? Now one thing you have to know is that once we alter any value here, for example, let's say there's an adjustment in the value, let's say from 35 here, and then we may have 4 here. So that's going to be updated in our chart dynamically. So I believe I've been able to cover this topic on creating column charts as well as bar charts in Microsoft Excel. So I wish to see you in our next class.